What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a great day and welcome back to Love the Game. So we're looking at FPL. So the idea for going forward with this channel is making about 3 videos a week. So one video before the deadline and then one after and then maybe sometime midweek. So trying to be more active, took a break after the Euros. If you haven't seen our Euro series, it's going to be linked up here. So the deadline is 13th of August at 11. The first game of the season is going to be starting. So I've created, this is like my first draft. So if you look at my team over here, we got I think it's a solid lineup. We don't have any money remaining. And that's one of the things that you have to look for when you're starting in game week 1. Make sure that you try and get a good variety of players. This lineup is more towards all the United and Liverpool fans because we've got 3 United and 3 Liverpool players. Now, before we dive deeper into the team, looking at the team, there's one thing I like to look at before preparing any team, and it's called the fixtures. So you got to look at the fixtures, and most importantly is FDR, fixture difficulty rating. So the FDR gives you an idea of how the fixtures are for each team. So one being relatively easy. So saying if Manchester City is playing, wait, I don't see anything that has an easy thing. Okay, but I would take a Man City playing a Watford, something like that. Then you have 2, and number 3 is like a neutral thing, so it could go either way. So you have like here, Arsenal versus Tottenham in game week 6. It could go either way. 4, it gets a little difficult, and 5 is hardest. So looking at the game week, so when you plan your first draft, especially on game week 1, I usually look at the first 3 game weeks when it comes to a team. I'm not the type to like chop and change. I like to make sure that I've bought right and looking towards first 3 game weeks. Why first 3 game weeks is because, say, they're coming back from summer break, COVID protocols, Euros, Copa America. So there's a lot of things, and there's new players being signed. So you have to see how the team dynamics are, as well as what the manager might be thinking. Like Chelsea right now is flooded with so many players who are coming in, and with Lukaku signed and sealed and delivered, not sure how that team's going to be lining up. Who's going to be the, apart from Lukaku, who's going to be starting and what's the, so trying to stay away from Chelsea players at the start, get an idea what's happening with Thomas Tuchel, but also with City, with the rotation, with Jack Grealish coming in for 100 million. So it's very difficult. So that's why for me the first 3 game weeks is I play the odds, playing the odds by looking at the fixtures. So I'm looking at Aston Villa. They got a good game. Brentford have, like, say, after the Arsenal game, they have a chance. It could be a surprise team this year. Looking at Liverpool, Liverpool have 2 great games at the start, Norwich and Burnley. Norwich, I would, with the way Liverpool have played against Norwich over the years, yes, if Luis Suarez was there, hands down, triple captain him at the start itself. But Salah's also had a good record against Norwich, so they have a pretty good game till about game week 6, except for the Chelsea game, but then it can go either way. And then looking at United, United have a really good run of games. Leeds, Southampton, Wolves, Newcastle, West Ham, Aston Villa. So this could be one of the reasons why United and Liverpool fans might look at trying to go a lot of like 3 each from each side. But you also want to make sure that you're balanced so then you don't get left out. That's one of the things with FPL. You need to keep your club allegiance to the side and look at players who are going to perform and also teams who have a good schedule. So looking at this right now, I would look at Aston Villa players. Brentford could be a surprise. Brighton haven't, like, the first 4 weeks they're good. Burnley I would avoid. Chelsea, for now, I'm not sure like how the team's going to be lined up, so completely avoid them. Crystal Palace, again, these fixtures, there's too many red, so gonna avoid Crystal Palace players. Everton look decent, but Ancelotti's left, and I'm not sure how the team's going to line up. What's the strategy going forward? And they haven't, for me, the preseason hasn't shown much who's going to be like the number one people. And usually I'll go for a Lucas Dinger, but this year I'm not sure. And even with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, it's his injury, it's his track record. So let's see. Leeds, I would love to get a Leeds player, though the fixtures like United, Everton, and Liverpool in the first 4 game weeks look difficult, but still a Leeds player would be good. Leicester, yeah, hands down would take them. Brendan Rodgers at the helm. Good team, good players. Could be a surprise. They played well in the Community Shield. So there are some players to look out for. Liverpool, they've had a good preseason, but they haven't bought players. There's injuries. Robertson's out, so the defense, yeah, so that's going to be one thing. City, champions. This first game is going to be really good to watch. What does Pep have against Nuno? So that's going to be a good game to watch, and maybe from then I can decide like going forward. Same thing for you guys. Just take your time. First 3 games, play it out, and usually wait till the international break to do like a wild card or something. So most of the games. So looking at I would look at Watford players: West Ham, United, Liverpool, Leicester, and say Brentford, Aston Villa. Okay, now going back to my team. So in goal, I have Jason Steele. And one of the reasons I have Jason Steele is, again, like I mentioned, Brighton. His fixtures and at price is around 4.5. At around 4.5, his fixtures up to game week 8. There's only 2 difficult games, so for 4.5, I might be getting a good solid player who can be in my rotation as well as he can start. And he's going to be playing also, so it makes sense having him. And the next is, oh, he's at 4, so 4 million for this, for him, it'll be great. And then I have another Brighton keeper in Sanchez, so that's my thing. I might actually change this. Having 2 Brighton goalkeepers doesn't look that great, so that could be a change. So the thing is, it's always chopping and changing. More than Steele, maybe I might keep Sanchez. In defense, I've got Daniel Amati. He played really well at the recently concluded Community Shield, and like I said, Leicester have a good run of games. And even though the West Ham game, Manchester City and Manchester United game have got a difficult rating of 4, I still have a feeling that they can come out with it. And for a 4 million defender, I'm not going to be too bothered. So, and then Kai Jan Hover is playing for Wolves, but at 4 million, apart from the first 3 fixtures, he's got a good run of games. So, looking at the long term, seems good, and it's not like he's going to be starting. So, my starting lineup, I'm going to be playing a 3-4-3. It's going to be like that. So, have Kufal from West Ham, and why him is he's been attacking. At the end of the year, he had good attacking returns, and they've got a good run of fixtures. The main thing when you're looking at FPL or FPL teams when you're drafting first for the first few game weeks is hands down how the fixtures are, how it's going forward. Trent, it's self-explanatory. Same thing with Luke Shaw. Greenwood and Diego Jota are a punt, because Greenwood has been good, but the thing is, will he start? Because yeah, last year he got 106 points. He had his minutes played, but he wasn't scoring that much. So it all depends on how United lineup, and so it's going to be interesting, but I could actually take him out. Jota could be my impact player. Yeah, Diego Jota, he's had a good preseason, and he could be my impact sub, so he could come on and score. But looking at how I prepare a team, I always look at if they are playing from the start. Salah and Fernandes, dude, you don't need to ask any questions about that. I've got Gibbs as a 4.5. It's just that for balancing the team, making sure that I've got enough funds for having my expensive two players here as well as my attack. Antonio, I don't think you can ask any questions. He has proven himself over the past few years. He is the focal point of the West Ham attack, and not having him would practically make no sense. Tooney. Now, Ivan Tooney is going to be interesting. The reason being is he's just come up from a promoted club. But if you look at this, he's been selected 30.4%. Yeah, so teams have selected him. So it looks like everyone like me is looking at he has a good run of fixtures. He could score in the odd goal or two, and he is the main striker for Brentford. He could be another Timo Pukki going on. Wilson is again like Callum Wilson for me is like it's either he's not injured or he's playing well or he's injured, and then I have to decide. But at 7.5 it is a gamble, but something that I need to look into. So let's go change our keeper. So if you look at it, like, there's a lot of high keepers, but I want to look at someone who can be a difference, and like, you can never go wrong with Martinez. Great run of fixtures, maybe. Let's go with Martinez. What am I left with? I'm left with 6 million for a midfielder. Price at 6. So Dallas, Harrison, Souček. Now here's the thing. I would have. You know what? I'm actually happy having. Yeah, Harrison makes sense because each team going forward. Anyways, guys, this was my first draft. I'm going to be making more videos going forward. If you haven't already, please make sure to like the video. It helps with YouTube and the whole algorithm thing. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. The next video is coming up shortly. There's going to be a lot more of these coming up. Take care, guys.